All right, everybody.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
Sorry, I I pressed something.
That's okay. You're fine.
Oh, I'm recording it. Okay, well that's okay. No, don't leave the meeting. Okay.
Whatever you want
Sorry,
to do, Dan. Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday, May 23rd. Welcome to Santa's Magical Fellowship Group, powered by Tuesday Night Live. Streaming across all platforms tonight. I'm just on Zoom tonight, but eventually I hope to move over to YouTube or get on some other more platforms here. Um, I'm glad you're here. We were going to have a wonderful guest tonight. I am blessed to call a friend, Lee Andrews. Unfortunately, he did get called away at the last minute. He's going to try to pop on if he can. He sends his apologies, his regrets. He felt awful. But we're gonna dedicate another show completely to Lee as well. So, um, and anyone that has not met Lee Andrews, to know Lee is to love Lee. He's a very, very talented man, clown, businessman, Santa, you name it. This guy has done it, and he's got the heart the size of Christmas as well. So I look forward to when we can have that show for sure. Um, it's definitely going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. We have a couple really cool things coming up, and I touched on it a little bit last week, and I figured with the impromptu meeting tonight, I can touch on it a little bit more. And then I might ask Bob and Scott to touch in on Wednesday nights a little bit, if you can. Um, on Thursday nights after our show, not my show, it's all of our shows. We are going to have two very, very talented Mrs. Clauses take the reins and kind of take over. However, one of these Mrs. Clauses has multiple personalities in the best way possible. She is Wingnut the elf. And Wingnut the elf, for those of you who don't know Wingnut the elf, and I won't spoil everything, but just picture Santa's elf, who is a retired NASCAR pit crew chief that trains reindeer. And she is going to, with her Southern charm and wonderful Southern ways, talk about telling stories, improv, a little bit of everything. She's got some wonderful North Pole friends that'll be around to help her. And it's just, as she describes it, you're in for a hootenanny of a time. Now, I'm from Arkansas. Hootenanny means a humdinger of a time. So it'll be a great, great time. So we'll be kind of like introducing it a little more as we go. The first show will actually be, let's see, Roger, what was that first show there? For Wingnut would be the 5th, I believe.
No, June 6th.
June 6th will be Wingnut after our show. And then the following Thursday will be Mrs. Claus Vintage, a very, very wonderful, wonderful person and friend of mine as well, Sean White, Mrs. Claus Vintage, who has a wonderful approach to Mrs. Claus. She'll be showing us a lot of things that Mrs. Claus can do. Storytelling, I don't really know what's in Sean's bag of tricks yet. Erica's like my sister from another mister. We talk a lot all the time about what she'll be showing people, but it will be an awful lot of fun and an awful lot of great things to learn. Next week, I'm kind of really excited about the Michigan Association of Professional Santas has their annual Jingle Joy Retreat. It's also the Advanced Christmas Performer Workshop with Santa True. Roger Minton over there, the Kringle Tracker guy. We will be going live on Thursday night from the Jingle Joy Retreat on the Tuesday Night Live, which I will talk to Bob and Scott about. Just kind of bring you a little remote location, show you what we're doing, have a good time, take some questions and answers. We'll also be at the reindeer farm on Saturday, and we might pop in live to show you what we see. It's just going to be a fun event. We're looking forward to taking this up a notch, and we have being powered by Tuesday Night Live is like a dream come true. These brothers are the most supportive people you could ever have. I'm new to broadcasting. I should be good at it because I never shut up, but I like our group because we're for Santas, by Santas. We share knowledge. We kind of lift people up when they're down, and we're there to celebrate in the joys and victories of everybody else.
You forgot one thing, Mel.
What I forget there, son?
It's all free.
It's all free. Yes, it is all free. We will never charge, and mark my words, we will never charge a subscription fee, a platform, membership fee, nothing. We believe Christmas is a true spirit of giving, and we want to show that true spirit of giving in everything we do. If I know how to put on a designer beard differently and you're having a struggle, reach out to me. If everyone's looking at Everett's hair and Everett's hair looks beautiful, how's he make it look that way? Reach out to Everett. You know, sorry, man, you've got awesome hair. I just gotta say that. So does Dana. But we're here for each other. You know, if you want to know where, you know, John got his coat from, that's why we're here to share knowledge. We're going to have some high profile folks on. Jeff McMullen reached out to me just today and he wants to come on and say hi to everybody. I've also made random people co-hosts. If you could let people in, that would be great. I like the way that we're growing because I'm Generation X, or if everyone knows the thing, knowledge is power. That's what it is. And that's what we're sharing. That's the gift that we can give each other, is a legacy of knowledge and love. How many young Santas walked into the world and they had no idea what was going on? When I started, there was no interweb. You know, if you wanted to order a Santa product, you had to either write a check. Remember those? You had to write a check, send it to a company, hope it got there, then hope you got your merchandise. Now you just go to 1-800-Amazon and use your debit card and hope you get the merchandise, but it's a little faster. There's so many resources out there. There's people like us that own Santa businesses. There's people that make Santa supplies. There's some people that do wonderful marketing for Santa. There's so much knowledge out there now. And this 1,500, almost 1,600 of us, each one of us has something really cool to offer. And I'm going to throw the gauntlet out too. I enjoy every Thursday night hopping on these shows. I enjoy when people say, Mel, can I talk on your show? It's not my show. It's yours. If you want to run a show on a Thursday night, let me know. If you want to get out there and talk, let me know. If you're the big red Santa, you know, in New Jersey, and you want to talk about Christmas in New Jersey, do it. You know, if you have something, knowledge that you want to share, maybe you make something, maybe you carve wood, maybe you're a computer programmer, you know, and you just want to teach people how to do something. Definitely do it. Do it, because again, together we are better. You know, and it's funny, you know, the old phrase, speaking of folks, there's Jeff McMullen just hopped on. You know, we have just a wonderful, wonderful group of people. And I am looking so forward to growing with the Tuesday Night Live folks. Being powered by them means the world to me. And it's very important, you know, we are brothers and sisters. Excuse me one second. I'm going to kisses. I'm going to turn it over to Bob McMasters for a minute. Maybe he can just add a little bit of icing on that cake there. Do you mind, Bob? I just put him on the
Bob,
spot.
you're muted. Turn your mic on.
I really put him on the spot.
Announcement. But Wednesday night, get ready. It's going to become Kringle time. And Kringle time means the Kringle brothers are coming to TNL on Wednesday nights. Don't know the time yet, but we have the start date will be in June, and Bob will have to tell us what that is. God, I look big.
You look just fine. I'll try not to spotlight people. Sorry.
Can you hear me, Bob? Can you speak?
Somebody once said Zoom was like the modern seances. You know,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Bob, hold up the number of fingers for the date in June they're starting. June 5? June the 5th, the Kringle brothers will be doing Kringle time on live on it'll roll over to Tuesday Night Live. It'll be on YouTube. They'll have their own YouTube channel as well. So we hope that everybody will tune into a new segment for TNL Productions.
See, and that's amazing because now you think TNL has the Monday show of Bob and Randall. They have Tuesday Night Live. They have Wednesday with the Kringle Trackers. Kringle Trackers, yeah. Sorry, Roger, we'll get to that in a minute. Kringle Brothers. Then you have Thursday
if
with
you
us,
unplug
and
your
this Magical
headset,
Fellowship
it'll-
Group, Winging It with Wingnut, and Mrs. Claus Vintage. So we have a little something for everyone out there, which is amazing. And maybe the Kringle Tracker Freudian was, when Roger and I go live next week, we're going to talk a little bit about Kringle Tracker too. So it's a wonderful CRM software program. So get ready with your questions for next week as well. John, I see you have your hand.
The Tuesday night, let's call it Wednesday Night Live with the Kringle brothers. Is that going to be going over Kringle Tracker and all the nuances and everything?
No, that is strictly Michael Howe and Herbie.
Which
doing
I think
that.
Herbie's on here now. So
Well,
It's all performance-based Santa work.
It's,
absolutely.
there'll be a preview if you watch Tuesday Night Live this coming week. I think, Bob, is that correct? That they'll both be on, and they're going to talk about the basis and what their show's going to be. And it's called Kringle Time. So
It was no audio.
Yeah, it's called Kringle Shrine Time. It'll be Michael Howell and Michael Boer, otherwise known as Herbie. Herbie, you on here? Herbie? He was on here. He popped up a minute ago.
Yeah, I
He's
see.
out.
Oh, yeah, he's here.
Herbie, you're muted. Knock 3 times if you can hear me. Herbie. Anyway, when Michael kicks back, maybe he can hop on and say little things. I don't see Michael Howell. Is Michael Howell here?
Bob's new headset just did not agree with.
Well, my computer evidently is not recognizing it at this moment, so I'll just do away with it. Turn the TV down and do away with it. Can you hear me now?
I'm here.
Yep. You want me to spotlight you, Bob?
Herbie, no, go ahead. Let
Herbie's
speak.
here.
He's there.
What is Herbie talking about? I don't know. I can't get my video working.
We'll
which is
come back to you,
bothering me.
Herbie. We'll come back to you. We were just talking about the Kringle Time.
All right,
Okay,
come back
so-
to me.
We'll come back to you. Hi, Bob.
Michael and Herbie will be coming on at halftime during the Tuesday Night Live show next week to do about a 5 to 7 minute synopsis of the different aspects of what they're going to do week in and week out. They're going to have 4 different topics that they will rotate. Monday, the first show will be one topic, second, third, fourth, and they'll rotate back to the first. But it's going to be a fantastic show. If you know Herbie and Michael together, they are a hoot. And so anyway, they're going to come on this next week, halftime on the Tuesday Night Live show, and they'll tell you everything there is to know about what they're going to be doing. Is that correct, Herbie?
Sounds all good to me.
So Herbie,
I talked to Michael earlier, and he said, "Well, I think Herbie's got some questions." I said, "Well, I'm waiting for my phone to ring."
so do you want to talk a little bit about Kringle Time there, Herbie?
I will be more than happy to talk whatever you want me to talk about.
That's why I love you. You're always willing to talk.
No, Kringle Time. Oh, you don't have to spotlight me. Please
Sure I
don't
do.
do that. I have to scare my own face here. This is evil here now. No, Kringle Time is going to be a lot of fun. Michael and I, the Kringle brothers, we're going to actually be hosting an hour-long show, as you just kind of pointed out. But we're going to talk about the many different elements to be a really successful Christmas performer, such as character development, costumes and props, performance-based, as well as business. And we are so lucky to be powered by none other than Tuesday Night Live. I've been playing with the logos. Thank you. Also at the same time too is we're going to be bringing things to you from Kringle Tracker. So it's a wonderful time to actually get to know us a little bit better and to have some fun. And we're going to make it basically, we're going to have an email that you can email us or contact us and ask your questions as well as do the things on live. But what we want to try to do is focus on the 4 elements to create the heart of a Christmas performer. And those 4 elements, as I mentioned, were character development, costumes and props, performance, as well as business. So we're really looking forward to it. I believe we discussed that the inaugural show is on June 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. So we're just going to have some fun, get to know some new friends, talk with some old friends, and always have fun.
And that is one thing with the Kringle brothers, that's for sure. As we know, we'll call it, it'll be a hoot and a holler. So
Yipper.
again, a wonderful, powered by Tuesday Night Live event. And like last week, we touched base. Basically, the question was, why Tuesday Night Live? Why are you powered by Tuesday Night Live? Man, it's like using batteries from Amazon versus batteries from Energizer. You've got that wonderful, wonderful power that doesn't stop. The like-mindedness of all the individuals involved of creating this network, because it's technically like the network, it's like W Santa, it's amazing because we can all, it's like a Rubik's Cube. We can all kind of move on other platforms and get our word out there to help each other more and more. And again, it is always free. We're still Santa's Magical Fellowship Group. Thanks, Bob. We're still Santa's Magical Fellowship Group. We always will be. Now we have more brothers and sisters than we ever had. And it's a beautiful thing. When Bob and Scott and a couple of us were talking, and Spangle were talking about, hey, maybe we can be powered by Tuesday Night Live. We didn't have to think. These gentlemen have been representing the Claus community for years, and they all have a heart that is equal and bigger than Christmas. So it was a no-brainer for me. And it's going to get more information out there. It's going to help more people, and it's going to help us be better Claus performers, Claus families, Claus family. And I'm going to say it helps me be a better person. So I am truly excited. And they did ask a question earlier about Kringle Tracker before Herbie got on. One of the I don't have sponsors of the show, but Kringle Tracker, go ahead, Bob.
So we did pick up a new contributor to the show. It's going to be from Monday's show, Tuesday's show, and Wednesday's show to start with. And Mel, we need to talk to you about bringing them on board on your side also. How many of you know Larry Talbot Insurance Services?
Oh yeah, I love Larry.
Larry has jumped on board with us. He will be now one of our major contributors, and we appreciate his talent, his time, his knowledge on insurance for the Santa community. So that's one. I don't know if Herbie or Roger's ready to talk about the other or not, but that's up to them.
All right, well, that's cool.
The umbrella, Mel, also TNL Productions is the umbrella that Tuesday Night Live, all of us fall under. And what that does is when we do remotes and go to different shows, ISC, Gatlinburg, Maps, when we appear and go to all those, we're doing live remotes of the Tuesday Night Live show, but it's all because of the production company, and that's what makes all this work. If there wasn't an umbrella that covers all of them, it wouldn't work. And we advertise and we share I'm calling it advertising. Our they're not sponsors, but they're contributors. And with Spangle and Santa Wade and Larry and I'm trying to think who else, Jessica. If it wasn't for those people, it would make it tougher. But that's what the production company is. It's all powered by it, and that's because that's the basis that communicates mainly between Bob, myself, and Angela. And we now Mel's got a segment in it, and the Kringle brothers have a segment in it, and Randall Checker Lee has a segment in it. So it's all. Basically, what is this thing at Maps? We're better together.
We're better together.
So that's the theory behind creating that umbrella. So everybody gets the same information spread across 3 different or 4 different platforms. So
think Tuesday Night Live as like the network. I hope this analogy will work, or metaphor analogy will work. Think of Tuesday Night Live as a network or individual shows. Like for example, CBS or individual shows. Okay. One what I'm really proud of with our group is Wingnut and Mrs. Claus Vintage. Again, we're all powered by Tuesday Night Live, but I'm really pleased to announce the first time that I've really seen that Mrs. Clauses are not grouped together, that they're separate entities, because Mrs. Claus can stand on her own. And I'm really excited to bring that to us as well. And I'm really proud of these two ladies. They're instrumental to my career. And there'll be, more people, more Mrs. Clauses will be on our show as well. Because I can't be Santa without a Mrs. Claus. I could, but it's not nearly as fun. And I'm not nearly as organized. But it's something I'm really proud of, that I have Mrs. Clauses actually standing on their own and having their own shows. And that's a beautiful thing under this. And it's because of the Tuesday Night Live, powered by, and we thank you for that show. And I have to talk to Bob's, maybe he can help me set up on the YouTubes or whatever as well. But
Yeah, that's all stuff that we'll be doing here in the next week or so, Mel. So whenever you get some free time, get with me. One thing
I'll
I
have a
do
lot
want
of
to
free time
mention,
here
though,
shortly.
something that you mentioned last week was about with all the MAPS events that you guys have up there now, you're going to be doing some remote TNL production, remote interviews. Michael Howell mentioned to me today that him and Herbie's going to do the same thing, bring back to the Wednesday night show. So there's going to be more opportunity for MAPS and all those folks that come to the Jingle Joy and all the different things that you guys have up there to be able to see what a fantastic group MAPS is and how much you guys work together to be better.
Bob, don't give him the big head.
I don't know, man. It's about 23 right here. So, but what's neat is too, let's say we're at Santa Kevin's house, and he wants to show that area that he's in, and the Santa's in that area. Do it. That's what's amazing about it. Yes, MAPS, I'm kind of biased, but we're pretty amazing, says the former Arkansas delegation. But you all are amazing. Sal, we could visit with Sal one night. We could check in with like Nick Casey or anybody. We could check in with the Maynards or Santa Argyle out there in California. Our reach knows no bounds. That I got goosebumps. That's what's cool about this. We can get out, touch the masses. If you think back in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have these resources. The 90s, not much at all. I can't go past the 70s, but some of you can. Think of the resource we're creating, the legacy that we're creating for the young Santas that are up and coming. I love it when my phone rings and it's a first-year Santa saying, and I answer the phone in my girl voice, and they're like, "Is this Santa Mel?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Really?" I'm like, yeah, it's Santa Mel. And I talk for 2 hours on designer beards. I guess, Santa Mel doesn't always sound like I'm a girl, but still, I get to help a new Santa out. And I think that's what's special. And that's why I kind of like shows like this where fate throws us a curveball and our guests couldn't make it, because we really get to explain who we are. So many people don't know exactly who we are, but they still contribute, and that's amazing. Like Nick Casey, he's a New York delegation of MAPS, self-proclaimed. I love it. That's what I was in Arkansas.
If any of y'all, and Bob will agree, if any of y'all have a larger event that you'd like us to cover from TNL, if we're available and we have the ability to come and do it, let us know. Reach out to Bob or myself or Mel, and we'll communicate it. If we can make the travel work and figure out, that we've got budget for it, we'll be more than happy to make that trip and do it. I'm just throwing that out there. So if you do have an event in your area, and we can make it, we'd love to come and be there live if possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it showcases your magic. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I really see, look, Santa Matt just pulled magic out of the air. That is awesome. So what I want to ask everybody, what are your thoughts? What would you like to see? What can, across all these platforms, what can we do? What matters to you? What would you like to see, do, talk about? we'll look into them. We really will, you know. Like I said, I'm gonna Shanghai Jeff McMullen one night to be on. He's probably laughing at me right now. Just let me know. Is there anything right off the bat you can think of that you're not seeing anywhere else?
I can't wait to get to Branson in a month and a half and be able to spend some time with Santa Mac.
Ah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. He gets to meet the the Nutcrackers, Barry and who's the other Nutcracker?
Steve,
What?
Steve,
Barry and Steve. Yeah, Jeff gets to meet Barry and Steve, the Nutcrackers. If you've been to Branson, you know. If you know, you know, right, Dan Pless?
Bob, we can't forget the soap on the rope for Barry.
Okay, it's not that kind of school, but we'd love to have you. So
That's an inside joke, y'all. We'll be
I-
glad to share it with you in Branson.
come to Branson. Spangle does, it is where fun and entertainment meet. Spangle does throw one heck of a party, but you learn so much. This will be my 4th year going and you learn so much. It was my husband's favorite school. It is my favorite school. So it's gonna be a good time.
Oh gosh, I got a call from Spangle about an hour ago and he says, I got something I want to run past you. I said, okay. Because this is all day long every day, and Scott can attest to this and Mel too, but
Yes.
all day long. He says, well, I talked to Deanna earlier and I want to talk to you about North Pole Cornerstones. Will you guys think about sponsoring a Sunday night entertainment in Branson?
Oh my God.
My first question was how much? He said, well, let me tell you who the headliner is before we talk money. I said, okay. He said, the Rolling Stones. I said, tribute band? He says, no, the Rolling Stones are going to be in Branson Sunday night.
Tickets are $900.
As soon as he told me that, I said, that's out of TNL's league. Forget that. It's out of NPC league. We couldn't combine all our resources to come up with that kind of money.
So if y'all want to kick in and come to Branson and see the Rolling Stones, toss your life savings out there because it's going to take that. I forget what they said their minimum show cost is in the millions.
1.7 just to open the venue. I asked Spangle, the first thing was how much, Spangle? He's like, does it really cost to put a price on your happiness? I'm like, oh gosh, here it comes. Then I told him the Rolling Stones, I couldn't afford the kidney stones at this point in my life. So, but if you're looking to sponsor the Rolling Stones, they are 80 years old. So I believe it's their geriatric reunion tour. So it should be really great. So, but again, that's a concert up there in Branson.
Yep.
I told him, what the heck? It's only rock and roll.
Yes. You come see the fossilized Keith Richards.
I wonder if we'd get in if we took off with the parade and all the lights and went roaring up in there.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Singing "Start Me Up." Yeah, that would be great. So,
Well, what am I?
but yeah, I mean, school sentence is awesome, and I kind of got off the subject there. I'm sorry. So what are you all interested in? What do you want to do? What do you want to?
That was my fault, Mel. I apologize.
No, that was I have ADO squirrel, so you're fine. Do you want to see any topics coming up that you'd like us to cover? Do you have any topics that you want to cover?
Hey, Mel.
Group. Yes.
I'd like to see those with more experience than me. I've got this will be my 5th year. That does photography with, as Santa or Mrs. Claus, that would show how to the best poses, the looks, that you do, with the kids or hand movements or anything like that. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, I've got the idea and the talent I feel I do to work with props and my nice book and a few other things, but I just want to be able to, I feel I want to increase that knowledge.
That's fantastic. That's actually something I would like to learn too, Everett. That is absolutely, and we can make that happen. I did write that down and we'll definitely be working on that. would that be
Yeah, it
something?
was,
Everett, do you story tell?
Yes, I'm a rookie. I'm a fledgling, but I'm
A
working.
little bit of everything.
Yeah, working with Jeff right now, um, and working to get some story building going, and that's a part of it.
You know, because one of the things is that, just throwing it out there, is that if you build your backstory into where there's storytelling involved in it, that's what I have done, and I'm not as that much more experienced than you. This is my seventh season, Bob? I think seventh season, and
yeah, I think so.
um, I had my Mrs. Claus that I work with. We went into a home on a home visit that had probably 8 or 10 children in it. And her son was her Santa the year before that went with her. And she said they run amok like crazy. And he couldn't keep their attention. And I went in there and told them stories and about, history on the reindeer and how they flew, and told a few jokes that went to the parents that were clean. What did one snowman say to the other? And they say, no, what? Oh, do you smell carrots? But it's those that you get the giggle out of the parents. So you keep everybody. I mean, that's what I have done. And if it's all part of my backstory. And my Mrs. Claus will reach over and smack me and say, now, Santa, you need to behave. You don't need to tell about the reindeer doing this or the reindeer doing that, or the elves, what the elves did in the slime machine, or, because I'll go off on this tangent and they'll all be all ears and she'll make me hush. Don't tell all that. You'll tell all the secrets of the North Pole. So it's kind of a banner back and forth, but I kept those kids occupied and their attention for 35 minutes. And she said, I've never seen anybody do it, because most kids' attention spans 7 if you're lucky, maybe 10.
Yeah, they're short.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I found. And I give them facts off of Google. I mean, I've gone and looked stuff up on Google, and, like the hair follicles on a reindeer are hollow. Why? Helps them float when they fly. But the truth is they're used when they cross a river in the wild. They can stop and they will actually float in the river. And that's real. That's, true facts. Kids are smart. They're going to go look it up if you tell them, look, check Google if you don't believe me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I work with like 5 sit down, Santa session photographers every year. But like I said, I just want to improve my posing, and, not necessarily the interaction with the children, but how I pose and present my body, my image to the children as I'm looking at up or pointing or something, to get that good shot, So if it was some photographers, Jessica Rosa or any other photographers that could come in and give tips or ideas, examples, live action, anything that would help improve, because it's not just me, it's all of us out there that we want to put our best face forward. And
one thing I've learned from posing, and I got that from Bob, is I tend to open my mouth. Like I'm surprised, and I find that you get a lot of good photos if you cock that head a little bit and open your mouth, or go back the other way.
Facial expressions mean a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing that you probably already know is don't sit straight onto the camera. Sit at an angle, little bit of an angle, because it helps hide if your crotch is straight on the camera, they get a crotch shot. Just to be blunt, sorry, Rhonda. But
That's one in your profile. You get a better profile picture. A picture's better if you're setting facing kind of at an angle towards the child. That way you're not both separated by this, but you're more together with this, and you can look and interact with the child more. To your point about the different photographers, Everett, I was approached about 6 or 7 weeks ago with someone that had suggested that exact same thing. And I've reached out to several photographers and just trying to put this show together, but all high quality photographers, not Jessica Rose. I mean, we could bring Jessica in, but we wanted a different point of view, because most of us either have worked with Jessica or know Jessica well enough, but some other points of view. So that was a future show that we've been working on.
We're just reading your mind, Bob. That's all.
Well, and who says we have to do one show? Let's do it, 2 or 3. Let's broaden out and do it on a different platform.
Oh, well, I think we need to go now, Bob. Spangle's here.
I
Who's
see his
Jessica
thumb.
Rosa?
We're in
Uh-oh.
trouble.
Hold on.
Who's Jessica Rosa?
I don't know, Spangle. Who is Jessica Rosa?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
Welcome, clown.
Hey, thank you.
We were talking a little bit about going across all our platforms, learning for free, learning all different things, coming to some events, like if they'd like to have Tuesday Night Live,
I like free.
free is good. Free is good.
Free is real good.
Free is really, really good. And sometimes if you have a large event too, and you want somebody there, Spangle's got a trailer. If you have a large event, or a medium event, and you'd like to have stuff for Santa there, talk to Spangle. We'll support you folks in any way we can.
He told me a couple of weeks ago if I could get 50 folks to an eat and meet, that he would drag his trailer from Missouri down to Texas for the eat and meet. As of this afternoon, I got 60, so Spangle's going to be coming to
I
Texas.
should have told you 80.
So our upcoming eat and meet, we've got 60 signed up. So Spangle, you're making the trip to Texas.
Bob, we
I'm
were
a
going to come
driver.
down. We were going to
Sorry?
come down, but it's Jingle Joy, unfortunately. But we were gonna crash your party. But
Oh,
next time,
more the merrier. We're all better together.
yes, we are.
That's right.
Wait a minute. You sound like Michigan.
Spangle, this is an AB
No.
conversation. See your way out.
All right, bye.
No, don't go anywhere. Nick, if you've got some photographers that you might that might be interested in talking about their photography work and what they look for in a Santa and the positioning, you might reach out to Bob and let him know. I saw where you put it in the notes. You work with 6 photographers every year.
Yep, that's fantastic. And that's a skill that can be learned. A lot of people ask me about improv. How can I do more improv? There's many different folks out there that improv is the meat and potatoes of what they do. For example, Erica, great improv, Kringle Brothers, wonderful improv, Dan Pless has some, I've seen Dan Pless, with a kid come up to him at our events. His improv's amazing, but there's some people that want to learn more about that. There's some people that want to learn how to make a naughty or nice list.
These Kringle brothers that you speak of, what do they do?
I don't know. Let's ask Michael Howe, because Herbie was on earlier. So let's put Michael Howe in the hot seat. I'll be nice. I won't spotlight him.
You want to know about what? Improv?
Know what the Kringle Brothers do.
Oh, you want what the Kringle Brothers do, or about how we do our improv, or I mean, help me out.
Who
Give me
are
a little
these
bit more
people?
direction.
Who are these people?
Well, it's just Herbie and I. Some would say we're nothing, and some would say we're a little bit of something. I mean, we just try to be ourselves and give to the community because, we realize that we're like, Bob said earlier, we're better together. And helping one another, there's no reason to compete. It's just helping one another out so we can achieve a phenomenal Santa together.
Well, it's
Bring
Kringle
us
time.
together big
performer.
personalities.
Of course, it's Kringle time.
Kringle time.
I just said,
Hey, I heard there's a new show, something about Kringles.
Oh, yeah. You're a hoot. Yes, Bob has it. I think Bob's made an announcement. Herbie and I are extremely blessed. We've been asked to share. And so on Wednesdays, we'll be starting. Am I repeating? Am I being redundant, Bob? Did you say all this already?
You can be redundant. Go ahead. We want to hear it from the source.
So June 5th on Wednesday, it'll be our first episode series 1, episode 1, the Matron Voyage begins for us, and so we'll have Kringle time. We can go over more of that a little bit later, but I believe being the heart of a Christmas performer is broke up into 4 areas. You've got your portrayal, you've got costuming, you've got the business side of it, and you've got history. And so I think being a healthy Christmas performer, we need to make sure that we're constantly looking at all 4 of those areas. So Herbie and I will be focusing on that each week, taking a look at those areas and having some guest people on with us. And one of the things that we've been asked about is like, gee, I love watching your videos when you guys travel. Like we just went to the ISC conference, and they go, man, I wish I could take a road trip with you. So we thought we'd have some special events where we do road trips and take you around some of the places in Michigan, which is Bronner's, the world's largest Christmas store. A lot of the things, we've got the reindeer farm coming up next week. So we'll do some filming there so we can just share some of those events and places and things that we go to, and looking forward to sharing what we have, and hopefully that it can encourage and help some other people to keep moving forward in their Christmas performance.
Now, all this sharing you're talking about, you don't by chance have Girl Scout cookies you're sharing, are you?
Oh, you know what? We love Girl Scout cookies. I love Thin Mints. Those are my favorite ones if we're going to talk about it. You know what? My favorite thing to do, Spangle, with Thin Mints is when you're camping, you roast a marshmallow and put it between 2 Thin Mints, and it makes like a mock s'more.
Gotta go.
Sounds like a Santa s'more.
Yeah, Santa s'more.
But my question
Santa
is
s'more.
this: if you do that and they call it s'more, what do you call the first one?
That's right.
Because you have to have one before you can have s'more.
Yes.
So Mel probably knows the answer to that. What's the first one called, Mel?
Mine.
A sandwich. A marshmallow sandwich. And then have some more.
I think the first one's called mine.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I was a Girl Scout for 106 years, so yeah. You know.
Smunts. SMONSE. Smunts.
Smunts. I like that.
Is it less and then s'more?
Oh my gosh. See, we can talk about anything here and it's great.
Now, Bob Smith, they do make those in New York, don't they? Oh, we get a nod. Yeah.
Now, I thought you were having Lee Andrews on the show tonight?
Yes.
Lee had an emergency and got called away. He will be on. He might try to drop in the next couple minutes. If not, he'll have another show for him. He's excited to see everybody. He feels awful that he couldn't be on tonight. And
Okay.
In his spirit,
that emergency, did he leave out with lights flashing?
No, he did not leave out with lights flashing. It was something I think he had to fill in for somebody, and he just feels awful. But in the spirit of Lee, he wanted us to still gather and talk about what we do and who we are, and that's amazing. And Jeff McMullen was on earlier, and he's going to be on our show one night. And you guys are on the show every night. You're all guests. You're all special guests. So,
talking about cookies, and there's Matt enjoying a cookie in front of us.
I know that Matt cookie looks good.
I don't know if do you guys get to see what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Walking.
Hold on. Let's make Spangle bigger.
Well, he just quit though. I'm out playing fetch with my dog.
With Ask him.
Yeah, but he just quit. He gets to a point where he says he's done. I don't know if you can see him, but he's laying over there. He takes the ball and lays down.
Molly wants to play though. Molly's
here, yes.
Yeah.
But he's got the ball. He's just done. He said he's had enough.
What's his name?
Ask him.
Will he answer?
He might. He don't answer me.
That's like I had a friend whose dog's name was DOG. I'm like, okay, that's a good name, DOG. But Ask him is the dog.
Nick, I'll reach out to you, by the way, to your comment there.
Spangle, anything to say about School of Santas? I was trying to do it justice.
Ask him to shut his microphone off. He was tired of hearing him.
Yeah. Hey, no, we got 116 or something like that registered. We got a full house. We got some good things going. And for all of you that are coming, bring your decorations to decorate the doors. We're having contest for that, and and you get prepaid Visa cards. So the winners do. So come on and decorate and have fun. And yeah, we got we got a Kenny Rogers impersonator. We got Granny Claus coming in from Terry Wayne Sanders, who used to be on Hee Haw, and he's like voted Branson's #1 entertainer like 15 years, I think.
And a nice guy. Nice guy.
Very, very nice guy, very humble, and one of the most caring people that you'll find. We got some cool stuff planned. So just hang out and see what goes on.
Yep. And Santa's Magical Fellowship Group will be blessed. We'll be handing out our scholarship, and we'll be announcing the other 2 winners, which will actually have one but have deferred to next year. So we'll announce that one night. And
Mel, we need to come up with how we can, what you're going to do over here on letting people have a chance to put their name in the hat for a scholarship for North Pole Cornerstones in San Antonio, and at the end of December 31st, February 1st and 2nd.
So instead of just doing that on one trivia question on just one show, we're going to incorporate all winners across all platforms' name into the hat for the scholarship.
that's awesome. I think
It gives
I mean,
a lot more folks a chance to have their name in the hat and possibly have that that scholarship. So
absolutely. We gave out.
All right, next Tuesday. I'm sorry.
yes, and
Next
your drawing
Tuesday,
is
are we
next
announcing
Tuesday,
the winner
Michael.
for the? Yeah.
Yep, yours is next Tuesday for your scholarship.
AJ said he hopes he wins.
I'm here, clown.
I bet Connie does too.
As I said, we had 3 scholarships this year in my late husband's name, and the main scholarship winner, which amazed me when the automatic wheel picked this person's name, was a full ride to School of Santas. So I can't wait to announce that at School of Santas, and I'll announce the other 2 at School of Santas. I've already contacted everyone that's won. Next year we're hoping to do 4 or more. So look forward to that for Santa's Magical Fellowship Group and this group. And you know, we're just trying to get people to North Pole Cornerstones and School of Santas, and there'll be other fun things coming up as well. We're actually again doing what we did the year before last. We did a t-shirt run. A lot of us have t-shirts from Santa's Magical Fellowship Group. I'm going to work together. They'll be on demand like they were last time, but I'm going to work together with Tuesday Night Live and see if we can't come up with something really cool and have them ready for order. And again, that's on you. It has nothing to do with the group. Everything is free. If you want to order a shirt, go ahead. If you don't want to order a shirt, go ahead. So it's just something that someone may like. And we'll also be coming out with vests as well due to popular demand. So look for that on the horizon. Most people have seen is it the Texas Santos that has a vest, Bob? Or is it Lone Star?
Oh,
Yes.
a lot of the groups have vests.
Oklahoma does.
Yeah. A lot of us would like vests for our groups. So we're going to come out with those, and we're going to keep costs really down because let's face it, folks, everything in this world is expensive right now. So we're going to do our best to keep costs down. Again, if you want to buy them, go ahead. If not, you don't have to. And we'll have patches as well, by popular request. So we are working on those.
I agree that everything's very expensive now. Just want to make sure that everybody realizes that all TNL platforms are free.
Yes, platforms are all free.
We're going down in cost while everybody else is going up because ours is staying free. So
yeah, again, you know, knowledge should be shared. You know, knowledge with Christmas. I'm really nostalgic. I'm sure you folks have realized this since 2021. Knowledge to me is almost like sitting at your grandparents' feet or relatives' feet, and they told you stories of yesteryear. That's what we're sharing with the new generation, and that's something to be awful proud of. You know, I was a Santa for Kellogg's cereal, or you know, we used to do this at Christmas. You know, we're sharing the knowledge, and that's just something special. And I'll get off my platform, but that's just super special. And Jingle Joy for maps is free as well, Kathy. Good point. You know, free is good.
Well, we combined education with the start of the Monday and Tuesday shows back in 2021 also. with the idea of that everyone has a story, everyone has a journey, and everyone has a future that they want to achieve. And so that's why we chose Tuesday Night Live to have featured guests week in and week out. Sometimes we have panels. Most of the time it's featured guests because everyone has something to share.
Everybody does. So, and again, on Thursday night, I do most of the talking, but please, anyone, just jump in. That's what it is. It's a fellowship group. It's like hanging out in church or at your favorite club. You know,
Yeah, you know, the one person that's talked too much now is Gary Linder.
yeah, Gary Linder always talks too much. Gary, you need to
He
talk more.
always talks way too much.
Gary never talks. Where is Gary?
He's up in the top corner up here.
Gary, you're quiet. I love when Gary talks.
I have begged Gary to
Hey.
come on the show on Tuesday nights because he does have a great story, a great, history, and he's just so quiet.
He is.
I have learned to just keep your mouth shut and listen. I have learned so much over the years by just listening.
Yeah, that's true.
Is
We love
there,
you anyway, though, brother. We love you anyway.
is there anybody that's considering going to North Pole Cornerstones or planning on it? I guess I should have my hand up too.
Not you voluntold me.
Yeah, you were voluntold, that's for sure. No,
Well, we got the date set if that's where you're headed.
That's where I'm
yeah,
headed.
the date is set and the registration will be open probably in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, Bob.
10 to 14 days, yes. There's just a couple other things we need to take care of before we can actually open up registration, which we should get handled in this next week's meeting.
Yep.
Hey Mel, can I say something?
Sure.
Don't forget to tune in to Tuesday Night Live show and Thursday with me, Scott, and Bob.
That's on. You're talking about at Branson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll be sure to
AJ will be sitting behind the microphone with us in Branson. So
that is fantastic. Again, Branson's a fun time. And Santa Family Reunion registration will be opening soon towards the well, it's getting close to be the end of May, so towards the end of May, it should be open here shortly. Santa Family Reunion is another wonderful gathering. The beautiful scenic Gatlinburg. It'll be an amazing year. So we hope to have you all there.
we've already got our hotel reservations made for that, Mel.
I still need to do that.
Scott and I do.
Unless I sleep on your floor.
Come on, it's all right.
All right. We can watch Spangle feed donuts to the bears. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we're at the Gillette if you're interested in being there.
That's and
right
Gillette,
across the street where we were last year.
yeah, Gillette is awesome. It's right.
We're not in the same room. We got somebody booted us out of our room, but
Very cool. I know a lot of people say the Gillette or they stay at the Holiday Inn Express next door. Both are amazing. We stayed at a condo last year and we got to see bears. It was really fun.
oh, you stayed with Spangle, didn't you?
Yes, that's where the donut and the croissant bear feeding story comes from.
Oh,
So,
okay.
don't feed the bears unless you're a clown from Missouri. But it was a great time. We stayed with Heidi Tibbetts, the costume or the suit designer, and her family. It was just wonderful. And I got to stay with Erica, and it was like a slumber party. We had a good time. So
Even though we got booted out of our room, Scott, we got a front row balcony with French doors. So that's going to be even better because now we can open up to the public where the glass kept us from doing it last year.
And who knows, I'll bring a speaker and stick a speaker out there so they can hear us.
I don't doubt that. Really don't doubt that.
So we can be on the street level and throw marshmallows at you, or what?
Or if you'll go to Spangle's booth there, you can get snowballs.
Or rotten tomatoes, or whatever you want. Just throw us something and make sure you throw a few $100 bills in with it.
Yeah, definitely. Couple. Yeah, we'll take 20s. With 20s will be good. But
Yeah.
it is a great time. There's a lot of informative lectures at Santa Family Reunion. A lot of wonderful shows. We have a wonderful, entertainment lined up. The audiovisual technicians are second to none. It was just last year was my first, or 2023 was my first year, and it was amazing. And I'm truly blessed that I get to follow Sherry Heath around as her personal assistant this year to start to learn the ropes. So it'll be a really good time. I hope to see all of
Well,
you there.
in recent history, it's the largest Santa gathering with the most vendors since, I guess, the Tim Conahan gathering he had last for his 10-year reunion. But
Yeah.
I think it's the largest, right, Mel?
Yeah, it is the largest, and it is not the most expensive. They do what they can to keep costs down. Anyone that runs a school knows your biggest cost a lot of times is food. You know, people like to eat. I'm a Santa. I love to eat. You know, if it's food, I'm going to eat it. That explains a lot, but that's a big cost of things. So yeah, this is the one in Gatlinburg, Nick.
Yes.
They work really hard to keep the food costs down. They do buy in bulk, but it was just, I met Santas from all over the world. You know, I got to see Santas from Canada that I never saw in person. I got to meet so many people. I got to actually meet Derek Dugan in person and Courtney and just so many awesome. Steve Gillum, I finally met in person, and it was just Bob. I met Bob in person. That was great. Bob's like one of my superheroes, and I got to meet him in person, so that was lovely.
Wait a minute, there's a lot of Bobs. There's a lot of Bobs on this call. Wait a minute.
This would be Bob Smith. So you get to meet people you only see on the internet in person. And it's just great. And it's like you're seeing an old friend for the first time. And I think that's just amazing. So if you guys can make the Santa family reunion in Gatlinburg, do it. If you can, stay for a couple days. There's so much to do in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. It's where Dollywood is. Lots of tours. It's just a beautiful place. And like Branson too, stay a couple extra days for Branson. If you haven't seen Queen Esther, it's an amazing. I can't wait to see it this year for the first time, but I've heard it's amazing. Museums, all kinds of things to do in Branson too. So you use this as a vacation. And if you're going to C.W. Howard, I'll see you there as well. C.W. Howard's an amazing school. So much to do in Midland, the Santa Claus house. It's a nice area. Again, it all comes back to one thing.
All right.
It comes back to fellowship. Bye-bye. So, and I love to see each and every one of you there. What do you think, guys?
Doesn't matter how many you go to, just get out and go to one.
So, absolutely. But does anybody have any questions at all or anything they want to add?
Just say hi to Diane Vian. She just
Hi,
joined us.
Diane.
Yeah, welcome, Diane.
Did I get the time wrong?
We're off an hour, so but that's okay. I'm glad you're here. You know, even a few minutes of your smiling face is beautiful. So we're glad to have you. And for those of you who are waiting on Claus cards from me, I am getting him out this weekend, I promise. So thank you. Seeing Diane reminded me of that. Just keep being wonderful, folks.
I have a quick thought, Mel. I guess Matt Spalding didn't join us tonight, but how many of you saw his new hair set from ZM? Hair that he received today. That's a heck of a set. The beard, the hair looks phenomenal.
That wasn't from ZM. That was from Heather at Custom Wear.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep.
That was from Heather. Matt
Sorry.
Spalding, when he puts his set on, if everyone knows Matt Spalding, you know, he keeps his head clean shaven.
Mm-hmm.
When he puts his beards or wigs on, you cannot tell that's Matt Spalding, by the way. You can't. I mean,
Very true.
He's amazing. But then again, I'm pretty biased because everybody in this room looks amazing. So
That his new set really kind of gave him a new look too.
It did.
It did. It did.
Now I have a question. Why is everybody combing their beard? Now we're talking about his beard.
I don't know, Scott.
Everybody in here combed their beard with their hand almost.
Everybody, Rhonda, were you combing your beard? Diane, were you combing your beard? Kathy? Yeah. Yeah, I got beard envy. Yep.
That's that we're thinking.
My custom one just came in, but I haven't trimmed the lace yet. It's a custom from ZM, so I'm anxious to see how it looks with the film lace, but I'm too scared to try it right now. So
Well, you know, for the bearded Santas, it is a great backup opportunity in case something would happen to your beard. It fall out, gets burnt, gets pulled out, whatever. you got to shave it for emergency surgery or whatever. If you have a backup or have, knowledge of where to find it, how long will it take and how much will it cost and how to use it.
Absolutely. And that's where
Thank
you
you,
can find
Everett.
the
I've been
information
preaching
here.
that for years.
Yep. Absolutely. And there's medications. You could get put on a medication tomorrow and it can make your beard fall out. I've had friends that this has happened to. It's always good to have a backup. And I will tell anybody, if you get stuck in a pinch, I always have one backup. Just ring me. If it's a dire emergency, I can get it to you. Just because I can't grow my own beard, they stay in boxes. But if you ever get stuck, reach out. Okay.
You personally deliver to Georgia?
I'll come to Georgia. I'll stop there, everywhere down. I'm dying to meet Derek and his family. So yeah, I'll come to Georgia.
To the coast.
Get
It's
some peaches.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'll come to Georgia.
So Kathy Fick put a picture in the notes on the side. Is that the new beard?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it says Custom Wig Company. I just didn't pay attention to the wording. I was looking at the pictures.
It's amazing.
I mean,
It is. It almost makes us real bearded Santas think twice about how much trouble we go through day in and day out with ours.
Thank you. I couldn't figure out how to do
I've thought
that.
about it a time or two, believe me.
Yeah, Bob, but you're just gonna trade one pain point for another.
That's the drawback, exactly.
I've got
It's the
mine.
cleanup, I think. The cleanup is the difference.
Yes. So Rogers is normally behind him on the railing, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Yeah. Yep. So it's good. They're good to have in a pinch, or if you're like Rhonda and I, that's what we wear. So
Like I said, I have 3 sets. So
very cool.
And there's also Santas like Tom Sheeran, who, even though he has a real beard, still wears a designer beard on top of it, because you can change your whole look.
Yeah.
With whatever photographer wants, you can actually go ahead and do so.
Absolutely.
As Everett pointed out, that's one of the things I try to push as much as I can. Every real bearded Santa should know at least the basics for a designer beard, because you never know.
Yeah. And I believe if you're going to Red Suit Conclave for the Michigan Association of Professional Santas, I'm teaching a little spiel on designer beard application and maintenance. So, and if you ever have any questions, on designer beard, reach out. I'm happy to help. So I learned a lot from Tom Sheeran.
Roger, that beard came from where?
Mine's a Heather beard as well. So
Custom Wig and Design.
Yep.
Wig and Design.
Custom
Out
Wig
of
and Design.
Louisville.
Custom.
Yeah. Heather's amazing. She has amazing products. Human hair bolstered with yak hair, right? Sometimes, Roger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Been doing it a long time, and the only thing is that when Maggie came in, she undercut her price, and for the guys who didn't have the budget, a lot of guys started going to Maggie, but Heather's is by far premium.
And she's so sweet. She's really, really a nice person too.
And it's American made.
Yep. American made.
You
So.
can look at it like your Santa suit. Not all of us go out and buy a $4,000 Santa suit.
Right.
If you're gonna have a designer beard, you're not gonna go out and buy the Cadillac of them. You work your way up to it for sure.
And what's nice too is Gatlinburg, ISC, and various others. Heather might be there. So if you are interested, it's the best time to actually go ahead and get measured. And it's a wild process because you get to wrap your head in cellophane.
It's pretty cool if your friends are with to take pictures.
Oh yeah.
Great for brother meetings.
Don't have your wife do it. She gets too much satisfaction about putting plastic over your face.
It's my goal to own a set from Heather. I'm going to ask my brother to buy me a set for Christmas, and we'll see how that goes.
And Sal made a good point too, is the sets that come out from Custom Wig and Design are all real hair.
Real hair.
They're not yak hair.
No, sometimes she'll use some yak to bolster them a little bit, but they're high, almost 90% human hair. I mean, they can be all human hair too, depending upon the style you want.
Most of the time, she only does human unless you're requesting something special.
Yeah.
Or requesting them to mix yak.
Yep. And they're so soft to touch, I got to see Roger's set when he got it, and it just feels like you're touching your hair. I mean, it's beautiful,
I had to help Roger cut his.
Yeah.
You did a great job too. I bet you were sweating with those scissors, weren't
Oh
you?
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I sweat every time I put it on. I don't want to destroy it.
I just bought a new pair of picking shears to trim my lace, so we'll see what happens there. So, but well, guys, it's been an awesome meeting. I love everyone's ideas, everyone's. Forgive my dog in the background, by the way. I love everyone's ideas and just where we're going with this. And like I tell everyone every single time, I like to take the time that we have, but I want to be respectful of your evening. But I have to remind you every week that, again, you are Christmas magic. Look at this. Look at all these people. We had 36 people at one point tonight in a room full of Christmas magic, creating timeless Christmas memories and working together. You know, that is something completely awesome. So I thank you for being here. Bob, Scott, Spangle, is he still here? You have something to add?
I think Spangle's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he left. You know, one thing real quick, Mel, I was told when we started the Monday and Tuesday shows that 30-minute shows was going to be the most folks would stand around or stay on with you to not try to go past 30 minutes. So we said, no, we're going to go an hour. Now we're doing an hour and 45-minute, 2-hour shows. And I'm like you the whole time. I'm watching the clock thinking, boy, we need to speed this up. So a lot of times I'm trying to move the conversation along and, but for us and the same tonight, I think if you're engaged, you stay.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's good.
The other thing my hats off to Bob and Spangle from Tuesday night with their additional co-host Deanna Golden. We had the highest number of viewers when we closed the show, and we had over 500 views at the close of the show, which is
we're right at 1,000 views on Facebook now, and YouTube this afternoon hit 100 views. So
very good. See, very, very good.
Deanna done a phenomenal job. She like real quick, I know we got to go. She was really great help for me because I've been doing home repairs, and that allowed me to kind of free my week up with her taking on the script and putting that show together. And Spangle and I was just along for the ride, and we really enjoyed it. Great job with the Mrs. Clauses. So
yep. It was nice watching you guys too. Yeah, it was kind of neat seeing you both there with them, and it was a very nice show. So thank you guys for bringing that to us.
Thank you.
Well, we look forward to seeing everybody in the future on all the platforms. So we hope y'all will tune in. We know you
or in
anything
person
else to do in the evening.
Yeah,
in person too. I mean, if we're out at an event, come by, and I mean, Memphis was phenomenal because we went there to do some live remote, and we ended up talking to folks so much that we didn't get a lot of live remote. I mean, it was crazy, but yeah, drop by and see us.
Absolutely. We'd
If you
love
want
to
to be
see
on the
you.
Tuesday night live show, give us a drop. But again, we'll bring you on and tell your story.
Great way to learn. That's it, and it's free. So
thank you to the Kringle brothers. Thank you guys for what you're doing.
Thank you to
Appreciate
Erica and Sean White and the Kringle brothers and Tuesday Night Live.
Roger, thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Roger, and thank you to every one of you. I love you. Until next time, may visions of sugar plums dance in your heads. Keep that magic going, and you are Christmas magic. I love you all. You take care. Bye-bye.
Care, Mel.
Good night.
See ya.
Take care. Bye-bye.